So next, I'd like to introduce next speaker, Luis. And he's a futurist. He's a president of developer of the FuturistCircle. And he's committed to promoting the integration of future studies with community, education, and business. He, as I told you, he co-founded FuturistCircle, China's first futurist and the foresight practitioner network. He is also the founding member of Future Matters, a foresight innovation and consultancy based in Shanghai. In today's talk, he will present his community-driven practice in China. So Reese, please start your presentation.
All right, thank you. And great to meet you all here today. It's my pleasure to be here. And let me share my screen. Let's see. Share. Right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Perfect. And yeah, I'm just going to share with the next 50 minutes, I'm going to talk about how we practice the foresight and the future thinking practice in a way of community-driven in China. So yeah, I think I was just introduce a little bit. Yeah. And so mostly we do three parts in my organization. The first one is we do research and think tank. We do like professional exchanges and networking with professional futurists and think tanks and organizations worldwide. And also we do like independent research, future-oriented topics research and independent publications as well. And meanwhile, we also do like co-learning and education. We try to promote future thinking or future studies into education institutions, and also we support organizations and individuals on the future literacy capacity building, capability building. And then also we do like public communications as well, because we believe future literacy as being part of the public dialogue, so that we do like co-creation activities, workshops, and also social media channels to influence the mass audience. I will specify more on what we are doing in the next few slides. So before I start my formal presentation, I would just try to do this a little bit alignment. What exactly is future thinking? And I would like to do this kind of calibration from the beginning. And also this is part of my takeaway or conclusion, part of my conclusion of my presentation. So usually we talk about the future is like from the past, from the present, and the future, right? But we believe the future is not linear, right? Instead, it comes with multiple future possibilities or future scenarios beyond this baseline future or the business as usual. So that's the basic framework as I'm talking about the future thinking today. And secondly, as we are talking about the future, we believe every individual is able to shape and change the future. So because every time when we were asked a question about where is the future, a lot of people say the future will be in Silicon Valley, in the tech companies, in the policy document, such and such. But we believe the future is in our own hands, is in our options, so that every individual is able to proactively make the future happen. That is not only for our own profit, but also for the entire Earth or the entire ecosystem. And secondly, as we talk about design futures or future design, we believe it's a way, as what just the Professor Anna talked about, it's a way to construct the world and the future. It's not a capability limited by these professional designers. Instead, everyone could be in a way to design their own life or design their own world. So that's what we believe. And thirdly is about only if we have this hope in our mind, so that we can make the future happen, a preferred future, getting closer and closer. So yeah, so why future thinking? Why FuturistCircle in China? I think this could be a context of what we are doing in the past 8 years. So every day, I was talking to the friends surrounding myself, and or I was reading the news or open the social media, follow the social media. We always hear about this negative or absurd news or information surrounding us, right? It looks out of control, such as the AI shock, right? The climate change, the geopolitical conflict, or the physical mental imbalance. So in such a world today, a lot of people share the same feeling that it's becoming fragmented, it's becoming chaotic and uncertain, right? It's a feeling of out of control, or we have no certainty at all. So essentially, this feeling brings to this, I would say, that the helplessness, right? We can't do nothing to make this world better, or the anxiety, right? Or there is a kind of rejection. I'm not belonging to this kind of future. I feel the distance. I can't be the part of it. So I catch some cold from the people talk to me before, like, I'm the last generation. I will not have the child because I have no future vision at all. I don't care about the future since I cannot make any change. The future can only be shaped by the government or the powerful people. And also the news we see every day and our life experience are already quite surreal, such and such. So how to address this kind of challenge of the era? I would say take this kind of metaphor. The old maps cannot find a new world. What does it mean? Because I think this world is just evolving so quickly, and then it's beyond our existing knowledge or the framework of recognition, cognitive recognition. So we must have to upgrade our framework to adapt to this volatility and uncertainty and chaotic, ambiguous future world. And likewise, I think it's also the same things happen in understanding the China or the future of China as well, because a lot of people still keep the same old framework to understand China. That's why it's becoming more and more confusing, right? We can't understand how this country was developed, or how will China take the role in this world. So we believe like future thinking can be a power to make this happen. So that's why we are doing this kind of community-based foresight practice. So in the next few slides, I will share more case studies of what we are doing. I will call this gentleman's code from Kevin Kelly, this Silicon Valley futurist and also the author of Out of Control. And he says, a good question, maybe the last job a machine will learn to do. A good question is what humans are for. So we also believe asking a good question is a starting point to explore the future. And specifically, this question could be something really from our heart or our mind. Right? We believe that asking a good question, one that is genuinely heartfelt and caring, often represents the first step towards the future. So in 2023, in our 5th anniversary of FuturistCircle, we launched a public campaign and try to collect the questions about the future from everyone, from the society. And also, in the same time, we try to instruct the ChatGPT to ask some questions about the future as well. And here, I will share some questions for you to look. And these are some questions from the professional futurists worldwide. For example, by Sohail in Ayatollah, will there be a world government by 2050? Why should we continue to place human needs and desires at the center of everything? How might we identify ourselves as borders mild in confluence and fluidity? Do identities identify? And will people really have leisure time in the future? What will human society need in order to fully embrace and accept individual expression and creativity? In the artificial intelligence era, how can we continue to grow and adapt to change and proactively create new irreplaceable careers? And also, even from the young kids, for example, do people get a chance to be the younger as they grow older? Are we going back to the earth after entering the heaven? How long will our human civilization last? This is just a few examples of this kind of question. And also you can find more questions by scanning this QR code. And unfortunately, all the questions are in Chinese. Yeah. And another project I want to share with you is about we launched this co-creation and exhibition. It's called Future in Your Hands, because we think following asking a good question about the future, we need to find a way to explore this future and to express this future, no matter is the preferred future, the worst future, or the weird future, right? We have to boldly speculate that kind of future and invite people to share, to exchange before taking action together. So specifically, what we are doing here is we invite people to guided by these questions, and they try to envision this future and try to visualize it through like a collage art with magazines, with stickers, with drawings and paintings, and then we put them together into this kind of exhibition. So this is just a snapshot of some of these pictures, and then we try to collect this kind of artwork every year, and then you will see there's a difference how people try to express what they care about, and also the vibes could be different. Especially you can see this change before and after the COVID, the pandemic. Yeah. And beyond this kind of public communication or co-creation, we also do like research, as I mentioned earlier, because we believe the knowledge asset is the core asset in our organization. So we have to accumulate knowledge and our understanding about the future continuously. So in every other year, we will do some research and then make publications about like white papers. So in 2024, we visited many of these villages, communities consisted of young Chinese youth, and because the contact is many young people after the pandemic, they try to lead a rural life and try to escape from the city. So we try to understand who are they and what motivate them to go to the village, to live in the village, and what kind of future do they wish to make it happen. So we identified like 5 different segments of these young people in between the urban and the rural. For example, the urban naturalists who cannot go to who do not want to live in the countryside. They want to do some say like a balcony gardening, plantation, or such etc. to make it happen in the city. And second is about like the weekend rural dwellers. They spend their most time the work days in the city, but they will just move to the village to grow and to farm. And then the digital nomad is just like in between the urban and the rural, or the seasonal dual dwellers. They spend half of their time in the city and half in the village for live and for work. And then the last is the rural change maker. They try to become the permanent resident of the village, getting this I would say the formal identification as a villager, as a resident living in the village, and try to make something happen. Yeah. So another project research we're doing in the 2024 is about regenerating happiness, because we figure out, especially in the society of China, people are limited into the linear narrative about happiness. And then what could be the possibilities of happiness or the narrative of happiness in the future? And then we studied this kind of research through a series of seminars, workshops with the topics of the future of tech, future of community, future of nature, work, and retirement. We try to explore this kind of topic, and also we try to apply both future studies and the semiotics and anthropology together to understand ourselves with me with ourselves, and also with the society, with the nature, with the technology. Then we identified 12 trends, and then we try to apply this 12 trends into a matrix of happiness. You will see here in the left, right? In the axis X, there will be the individual or collective. In the axis Y, it could be the future, the long-term future, and then on the other side is the present. Then based on that, we try to generate 4 different future scenarios of this happiness, which are the rehumanize, or reinvent, reconnect, and regenerate. So these are what we are doing in this project of happiness research. And then we figure out how can we make future thinking more tangible and impactful by applying it into specific industries and areas. So that's why we're starting to work on the climate actions, how to empower climate professionals and organizations through future narrative transformation, which originally come from this framework of causal layers analysis and also the narrative foresight by Professor Sohail in Ayatollah. And this kind of work, we collaborate with Abandoned Climate Action Research Institute, which is a climate think tank based in Beijing. And then we collaborate on a series of events and workshops in different cities. And in each event, we try to invite different guest speakers from policy making, science fiction, artificial intelligence, or a charity foundation, or ecological pioneers, etc., and to share their visions about the future of climate. And meanwhile, we try to apply Dreams and Disruptions, a foresight card game, into this kind of discussion, so that every participant is able to generate their future scenarios about climate change. And then we do the review, we do the reflection to make some implications for the action after the event. So there's the implications why we are doing this, because we see there's a significant difference of climate futures from the conventional narrative. You will see here in the regular narrative is more about disaster mourning. It's about scares. It's about conflict, deadlock. And instead, in the climate future, we talk about hope. We talk about action. And also, as we talk about in the conventional narrative, it's almost linear. But in the climate futures, we talk about polarity about the future, not just the only worst future, right? And also, in the conventional narrative, we always talk about numbers. For example, the 2.5 degrees Celsius, right? It doesn't come with an image of the future, and also it has to be disconnected from the large audience. But as we are doing this kind of exercise, we are trying to make the sense of future imaginary, and also the long-term systematic transformation. And also, unlike the top-down approach, right? It's usually led by the industry, by the policy. We are doing this by inviting the participation of enterprises, social organizations, and even individuals. And lastly, as we talk about climate changes, it's always about anxiety or fatigue, right? It says actions themselves cannot change the future, but what we are doing here is trying to spark participatory innovation and cultivate a long-term resilience, so that we can be part of the planet, we can be part of the climate as well. I can help bring about a preferred future within this kind of topic. So what's my learnings here since 2018? We studied this organization. First of all, we try to make the integrated future with yin and yang, because we figure out if we only care about the trends, the things happening out of us, right? We can't really go to that future. That's why we always see there's the gap between ourselves and what we observe in our environment, right? Because we see there's a gap, we can adapt to it, and then we feel struggling. So instead, we try to bring this inner future and outer future together. The outer future is more about this environmental scan, what's happening in the society, the culture, technology, or eco-environment, business, or politics, right? We try to identify the opportunities or challenges. But in the inner future, on the other side, it's about what we truly believe about the future. How does my vision or mission, value, or even the deeper narrative tell about the future? It's more about the personal or organizational mental development. So this is more like this yin and yang. So we have to put them together. Without the environmental scan, we just limit ourselves into this beautiful dream of utopia. Without this inner awareness and alignment, we are just following the future. But we cannot catch up with the trends of the future. So we feel struggling, or we are just limited into this kind of, we say, the second-hand futures. So only if we put them together, as I say, the twin engines of evolution together, we can be more adaptive. Of course, this could be a continuous calibration process, and also within this dynamic changes all the time. So that's why we'll see this yin and yang is changing, it's evolving, and all the time. And that's why also part of the reason why we invest into the research on the future of happiness. And secondly, we want to make our future playful, because as I said earlier, the world, the future is so fragmented, it's struggling, right? How to make it fun to be the starting point to get into the future. I try to quote this quote by Professor Sherman Cruz, the creator of Dreams and Dreams and Disruptions. What he says is, randomness appears to reflect the true nature of the future. And we, in the game, in the play, we try to play with this kind of randomness, and until we see the future, the unknowns. So that's why we try to introduce this dreams and disruption into China, into the Chinese audience, and we give them this playground to start to explore the future by themselves. And instead of just, we say, the preaching the gospel, right? We don't convince you about the future thinking. Instead, we try to invite you to play and learn by doing, right? And also, this is about like we say the infinite games versus the finite games, right? The future is about infinite games, and by playing this kind of foresight games like Dreams and Disruption, you will figure out this infinity about the future. And then also, I really like another futurist, Jane McGonigal. She says, games are not about escaping reality, but about bringing a sense of engagement, achievement, and resilience at a game level to real life. When enough people enter the real world with the player identity, together we adjust the future to mode that can be completed. So that's what we are doing. About the third part is about we are always taking humans as the I would say the subject to make the change. Treat people as the future's work object. They are the influencer and also being influenced by others. So that by following this kind of innovation diffusion curve, we focus on the two segments. One is we say the innovators in the range of the 2.5%. Someone who is leading the future. They may be the visionary futurists or pioneers. And second group is we say someone who sees the gap between the future and the present. They are the change agent. We try to collaborate with them and also empower them to make the future happen. And then there's the majority. We say they are following the early adopter to pursue a shared future. And then there's someone, we say the laggards, who are the ones reject the alternative future and would stay in the business as usual. So we are small. We have to do like start from the bottom, right? So that we have to get a small group of people at first, and then we try to make a larger and larger influence. So that's our ideology. But also, on the other side, I have to clarify is we don't care about human themselves, but also we care about, as we empower human, we can empower human to make the change of the future, to make the change of the humanity. That's why I made this term. We are trying to starting from ourselves for a post anthropocentric future, right? That's our ultimate vision about the future. But this, of course, this takes a much longer time and by generations. But we always starting from the human. And beyond FuturistCircle for social innovation, we also do business innovation with some multinational companies like Kia, Logitech, or Hitachi, and to do this foresight research and strategy, to collaborate with them as well. And also on the third part is we also do the personal development. That's the term future in your hands. So we say to anticipate a better tomorrow for the world, business, and ourselves, we can make actions today. So thank you for listening, and this is my presentation. Thank you.
Taka-sensei, you are on mute.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much, Luis. I'm very much impressed by your presentations. And is there other questions and comment from the audience? Okay, here's one student in the room, and he raised hands. He's from Chinese student from in Labo. Please do.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your presentation. It offered me a different perspective on design. However, for my point of view, most of your content focused on graphic design, which is an artistical behavior. For the future of design, it's not just about art. I believe there should be more technology design elements. What are your thoughts on this? Is the future driven by art or by technology? Thank you.
How about Luis? Do you have something to say about that?
Yeah. So first of all, I have to clarify that I think the art is only a process of what we are doing, and also I would say technology itself doesn't represent the future because it's already being invented, it's already being developed. Instead, what we need to do to see the future of technology, we have to add on art. That's why we comes with we say science fiction, right? We need the fiction to imagine how does this kind of technology can fit into the future world, right? That's the future of technology with my standpoint. Yeah.
Thank you, Luis. Is there any other comments or questions from the audience? How about Masaki?
Yeah, thanks, Luis. Very passionate presentation. I really surprised this type of social innovation is working in China. So, while I raise hands, but I want to ask just one question. This is maybe my prejudice, but in China, I think more businesses more like stick to like business results or numbers that make profits or something like that. But your business is more about not just seeking numbers, profits, right? So maybe democratizing your future thinking to public. So maybe how you balance this like reality and pictures.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's why in the last slides I'm sharing about this. We're trying to build this kind of universe, right? We have this something for social impact making, but also we have someone for profit, like the innovation consulting. And I would add on part of that, I think nowadays we are getting close to many entrepreneurs and business leaders. These people are thinking about something beyond business. They're thinking about what's the next things about this society. So that's why we are trying to collaborate with this kind of leaders to make the better future.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, there's one hands from the audience. Ima Fuji-san, dozo. Please do.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your interesting presentation. I have a question about the slide of the climate features. Maybe you might have the kind of event for the climate change. Then I'm curious, are they all interested in the climate features or the environment? And I wonder about the motivation and the cohort of the participants. Yes.
Can you say it again? Sorry, I didn't catch the last part of your question. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm curious about the motivation and the cohort, like what kind of people join the participant, like for the event or the session.
Thank you. I think the motivation behind it, first of all, most of these participants are from the climate field. They are the professionals or these organizations. They are struggling in the meaning about why they are doing these things about climate change. Because if we assume the future of climate is a challenge, is inevitable, then they're gonna question the value, the meaning about their work, right? So and also, as what we observe is these people, they feel the stress from them inner selves because they see the future is getting worse and worse. So we try to help them to transform this narrative about future. So that's my answer to your question. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Luis. We
Thank
are
you.
behind the schedule, so we dive to transition to the next presenter. Thank you very much, Luis. Please give him hands again.